¿qué o cómo se ve el inglés en Japón?
Yeah. They know very basic English, just the rules.
Just the rules, Y al mismo tiempo daremos unos tips para viajeros que vayan al país sin japonés. Antes de comenzar, quiero recordarte que no olvides suscribirte y que si estés de tu agrado dejes un like. Asimismo, activa la campanita para que no te pierdas ninguno de nuestros próximos videos. Konnichiwa, Misaki desu.
Konnichiwa, Neko-sensei desu.
El día de hoy les traigo un video bastante especial de un tema que no hemos hablado, pero que a la larga les puede ser de utilidad, sobre todo a los que quieren viajar a Japón. Así que hoy le voy a preguntar a mi esposo ¿qué o cómo se ve el inglés en Japón? Desde la experiencia de alguien que es joven, que puede dar fe de la generación actual y que tiene cierto gusto por el idioma. Y al mismo tiempo daremos unos tips para viajeros que vayan al país sin japonés. Así que sin darle más largas a esto, comencemos. Entonces vamos a comenzar con la primera entrevista, the first interview, que le vamos a hacer a Neko-sensei en este canal. How many years Japanese study English? Like for example, since you are in school, like usually when do you start taking English lesson?
I think it starts from when you were first year junior high school students.
But you didn't take in elementary school?
No.
Well, maybe now, maybe some basic things. And at that time, for example, what did you study? You study from there until you graduate, so that will be like around 6 years, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do usually?
Yeah, started from learning alphabet, so A, B, C, D, F, G.
Yeah. O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
So first exam was very easy.
Only that?
Only that.
But because for you it's a way different alphabet. I mean, it's something different. And for example, when it comes to professors, where are they from?
Japan.
And they are so perfect in English, right?
No.
That's the thing.
Terrible.
Wow.
I think, they can speak English to foreigners, like Americans.
They can pass like one test, but when it comes to the more practical aspect, which is conversation, they are like a...
They know very basic English, just the rules.
Just the rules, What do you think is the most difficult thing when it comes to English for Japanese? Like the one that you say Japanese always fail when it comes to this, like things that the society, people, like they cannot do properly.
I think speaking, so pronunciation.
Why is that so?
Why? Because pronunciation is something that you have to practice a lot. You have to speak it, but we don't have any opportunities where we can speak. So which means we can improve our speaking in English, because we can improve reading and listening and writing through our training, like admission exam. But we are not get required to have very high speaking skill. Because I think, because being ranked at the second place means we are very developed, which means our own language is very strong. So which means we don't have to follow the best, right? Because technological things is very strong in Japan. So which means there are many literature and research in Japan. So which means we can get a lot of information from Japanese. So we don't have to learn English to get that information. I think that's the one thing that Japanese don't have to learn. Because I like adventure. So if I want to do it, I need English. So I started to learn English from that point.
When how do you learn English from that starting point? I know you study at school, like you knew to be, I am, you are, of course. But how do you start by yourself, for example?
First of all, I registered online course where I can speak to a lot of people from other countries. For example, Filipinos, Serbians. Most of the people are from developing countries, because the company was from Japan, so they are managing the courses, but they want to get those courses cheaper. I talk to them every day. So yeah, and that's improved my English a lot.
Of course. But it was like a conversation class, right? It was not like a conversation moment, not like a...
Okay, Masahiro, open your notebook.
So yeah, I did like for 2 years.
Wow, that's really cool. And this is like something that I have to mention for people that want to work in Japan at some point. There is the possibility, of course, of kind of like applying, so you can give it a look. So now we're going to just give like some tips for travelers in Japan. I guess like the general one is that you need to get the SIM card or the pocket Wi-Fi because that's the way that you're going to be able to access the tools to translate, which is the most important thing, right? So Google Translate can be your best friend when it comes to short sentences. Of course, you're not going to translate a book because it's going to have a lot of mistakes. But if, for example, you want to translate, I don't know, some announcement, like some sign in the street, that's going to be useful. Usually, there is not that like a really bad mistake, no, because they tend to be standard things. When it comes to transportation, you see that there are many names of stations that are not read, but yeah, like in English or at least like the furigana. So you can see Marutamachi. So that's going to be useful. But sometimes you see the sign and that thing is only in Japanese. So there you need to have the Google Translate or at least talk to someone and say the name. Odaiba. They can type it like I help you.
Doko desu ka?
The key, like doko desu ka? For example, where is it if you are in the map? Or for example, well, it's going to be more complex than that, but at least you can start just by saying those things. And you have to consider that the transportation system in Japan is special, so you have to pay according to the station that you are going. So clearly you need to be aware if you have like a ticket, you have a kippu, you have a ticket, you need to be aware of like the next station and the amount, like how much do you need to pay. How to avoid all of that? Just buy IC card, the charging card. So you just put it and you recharge, I don't know, ichiman, like 10 ichiman, $100, $100. And if you recharge that card, I mean, it's going to be useful, no? When it comes to hotels, I guess people in hotels usually have a little bit of English. For example, if you want to say, I want to eat, there are some words in English that are really similar to Japanese. Restaurant, toilet, toire, right? Even bus, basu. And when it comes to food, Google Translate can help you with the menu at some point, so please give it a try. Something that I saw in one video that really impressed me, and I think it's important, is to know the character when it comes to men and women. Because what if you are, I don't know, if you cannot recognize the color, usually there is a color, right? If you are in the situation when you don't know, at least you can see the character of women and the character of men. Imagine that you don't have your smartphone there, so at least is going to be useful. So I guess these are the tips that I consider are going to be useful for you if you travel to Japan and you don't know Japanese. But if you want to still use English in a conversation, try to speak slowly. I guess as Latin Americans we speak slowly, but just keep it slowly, don't make long sentences, just keep it up to the point. Like usually we do, because if we don't have that much confidence, we prefer to say where other than where is located right? And if you don't know English and you only know Spanish, try to remember basic English words or use Google Translate again, okay? Right? Do you have any other comment for the people?
If you can learn new words, like itadakimasu, arigatou gozaimashita, yeah, that makes Japanese happy. Yes, konnichiwa.
Especially arigatou gozaimasu. That's really comforting. Así que ustedes, muchísimas gracias por ver. Déjenos abajo sus comentarios. ¿Alguno de ustedes ha ido a Japón? Si es así, tuvo problemas, sabía el japonés, ¿cuándo quieren ir a Japón? Todo lo que ustedes deseen, nosotros los podemos ayudar. No se olviden de compartir con sus amigos y que tengan un bonito día. ¡Matane!
Bye bye.